Yo, what's up with Ghost here, and today I'm bringing you guys another comparison video between the Mac-10 and MP40, which again, I'm continuing the trend of comparing weapons from the previous titles to the newest one. In this case, you know, Mac-10 versus MP40. And I'm actually having a lot of fun making these type of comparisons. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying it as well. And if you actually have a specific comparison that you would like to see, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm open to doing anything, because again, I am having a lot of fun. And to me, like, it's kind of like just refreshing, and that's kind of weird to say because these weapons, like about a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago, they were still, like, that's what we all use, but like to me it feels like a really long time. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this ever since the integration happened, like it actually feels like it's been such a long time, but in reality it hasn't been too long. So, you know, I don't know, but I'm having a lot of fun using these weapons again. It really, like, just it makes the game for me feel different. I don't know, it's just hard to explain. But I mean, regardless, man, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. 1,000. We're getting closer and closer every day. Yeah, man, let's just get into the comparison. And then we have the recoil pattern for the Mac-10, and as you guys can see, the recoil pattern is pretty, I would say, straightforward. It has like a little bit of spread. That's what it seems like. But I mean, this gun is probably the closest thing in terms of range to an MP40. I can't really think of another SMG except for maybe the MP7 that has even any type of. Oh, no, that's not true. The Bullfrog. I just thought of that. The Bullfrog is pretty solid too. But the MP7 is kind of like, I don't know, man. I've been seeing a lot of people use MP7, but I don't know if it's necessarily as good as, well, these two guns that I'm talking about today. I could be wrong. I might have to go and try it out again because it's been a really long time since I've used an MP7. I could well say over a year that it's been since I used an MP7. But I don't know, man. Maybe we'll have to revisit it. If you guys want to see that, let me know. But anyways, man, this Mac-10, man, still just as good as ever. To me, this is probably one of the most reliable weapons in Warzone history, because if you guys take a look at the whole Cold War cycle, from when the game, or when the integration first happened, which was around season 1, which is when the Mac-10 was introduced, all the way to the end of Cold War until Vanguard's release, this Mac-10, man, was always in the conversation for like a top SMG. It was always really good, and I actually have like a reason why for that, or why that was. Because, you know, it's a stat specifically, which we'll talk about, and I talk about a lot actually in my video, so this might not even really be a surprise, but we'll talk about it a little bit later. And this gun, man, what can I say, bro? This gun I just feel so comfortable using it. Like, it just felt like the good old days. I was just slaying, bro. I had so much fun using this gun. I really felt confident in every gunfight that I went into. I really felt like I wasn't gonna lose any gunfight. It's just like how I felt with the OTS, and with the MP40, I kind of feel the same way, but like, I don't know, man. The Mac-10 and the OTS, like, they just have a different feel to it. I really don't know how to explain it. I can't really put my finger on it, but when I use these two weapons, and when I say I'm confident with them, like, I'm really confident. The MP40, I'm more like 90% confident. Like, I have that 10% doubt that no matter what, I'm still gonna lose the gunfight. But with these two weapons, man, like, I don't feel like I'm gonna lose at all. And that really was the case for what it seemed like to me when I was using this gun. And like, I just had a lot of fun with it. It felt really nice to use it again, although I used it a lot in the Cold War cycle. I would actually be curious to see how many kills I had throughout that whole year, but, you know, I don't know if that's even, like, possible. It probably is in some sort of website, but I don't know, man. Until you go look for it. But yeah, man, this gun, bro, still really solid. If you guys are looking for a weapon just to have fun with the Rebirth, like, I would definitely say the Mac-10, because I'm sure, like, a lot of people right now aren't really using the older titles of guns. I think a lot of people are like on the Vanguard weapons, rightfully so though, because, you know, that's the newest content. And for me personally, I've been, for like the last month since it's been out, it's essentially just been using those guns, you know, so I understand that feeling as well. But I don't know, man, using these weapons has really, like, kind of helped refresh the game a little bit, although that seems kind of weird to say, because these weapons not too long ago were, like, still being used. I don't know, man, I just work in a weird way. But anyways, man, with that being said, let's just get into the MP40 and stats. And then we have the recoil pattern for the MP40. This is nothing really new. If you've been on this channel for the last month and a half, you would already seen this like 10 times. I'm not even trolling, bro. The amount of MP40 comparison videos that I've done is just crazy. But that's just to show you, man, that they haven't like nerfed anything, bro. Like, man, it's hard to like not do a comparison against the best SMG when, like, you know, you're not doing anything to make another SMG be better than this. But, you know, whatever, I'm not really complaining because I feel like all the comparisons that I've done are pretty relevant. Even the ones that I'm doing right now But regardless, man, we're just gonna start out the stats. I don't really want to waste talking on the MP40 because I feel like if you already know what this is, man, this is the most recent gun that everyone's really even using. You already know how good it is. You already know like it's really good. All right. But for the first stat that we want to talk about is the fire rate. Now this right here, bro, like this is where you want to put all the attention in. You remember what I said earlier about the Mac-10 being like really consistent in the meta? Yeah, this is gonna be the reason why. So for the MP40, we have a 600 RPM, not too crazy, especially in comparison to like OTS and now Mac-10. It's pretty slow because the Mac-10 comes in at a hot 1,118 RPM, which is almost literally double the MP40. And you could use fire rate attachment with the Mac-10, the MP40, and you still wouldn't come close to the Mac-10's fire rate. This right here, no exaggeration, in the history of me making comparisons, I think this might be quite literally the biggest disadvantage in fire rate that I've ever covered. This is literally just insane, almost double in fire rate, and that really matters. Because when you guys hear the damage in the Mac-10 right now, you're gonna be like, man, this gun ain't got it like that. But bro, the fire rate, like now after seeing this and the fire rate, I'm probably gonna have to say that the fire rate like is probably one of the more important statistics than damage. I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, man, like damage obviously matters, and you don't want a gun to be too weak even if it has fast fire rate. But bro, like this gun right here, the Mac-10, shows you that damage isn't like, I don't know, just kind of, to me, doesn't matter as much as we think it does. Whereas like the fire rate, man, could save any gun. Because starting off with the damage, we're just gonna start with the Mac-10, right? 0 to 15.5 meters, 28 damage to the head, 22 to the neck, chest, and stomach, and then 22 to the extremities. Already off rip, bro. You hear those numbers and you're not impressed. That's the Mac-10's damage at close range. And if we move over to the MP40s for 0 to 13 meters, 59 damage to the head, 42 to the neck, 36 to the chest, 32 to the stomach, 32 to the extremities. And we're gonna talk about the other range too. 13 to 16 meters, 47 to the head, 33 to the neck, 28 to the chest, 27 to the stomach, 24 to the extremities. So already you hear those numbers and you think, okay, the MP40 is significantly better than the Mac-10. Now statistically, damage-wise, it is. No denying it. Literally, in the headshot damage for 59 versus 28, that's literally double damage. Like, bro, you would think that the MP40 would be the clear-cut winner. But nah, bro. Like, I faced a lot of MP40s when I was using the Mac-10. And I've been on the receiving end of the Mac-10, and I've lost gunfights, and I've beaten a lot of MP40s, bro. And yeah, you could sit here and say, okay, it depends on the player, it depends on the situation. That's true. That could be dependent on a lot of things, and a lot of guns is the same situation. But typically, man, the fire rate right here, man, the Mac-10, it's really not losing, bro. I don't care. Like, this Mac-10 is so fast that it doesn't matter what damage it has, and it has pretty solid damage. And I'm pretty sure before it got nerfed, like, the damage was a lot higher. I didn't look at the stats back in the day when it was, like, really good before it got the first nerf. But just imagine already that, like, the stats to me for how fast this gun shoots is pretty solid. Like, obviously, you don't want this gun to have anything close to MP40 damage, because if it had this fast fire rate with that damage, bro, I mean, it wouldn't be fair. But thankfully they didn't like mess this up. I will say I'm actually kind of curious as to why a lot of SMGs in the, like, aside from maybe the CX9 that came out after the Mac-10's release, like, a lot of guns didn't even come close to the 1,000 fire rate. There's not a lot of guns out there, SMGs, that have 1,000. I think the two I could think of the top of my head is the CX9 and the Fennec, and those guns are pretty good. I actually, I'll vouch for them, but they're not like as used and as reliable as the Mac-10. So I don't know what changed with this Mac-10, why it ended up becoming so good, but I mean, listen, that fire rate quite literally is undeniable. Anyways, to round it out though, with the final range damages for 60 meters and above for the MP40, we have 41 damage to the head, 29 to the neck, 25 to the chest, 23 to the stomach, and 21 to the extremities. And then for the Mac-10 for 15.5 meters and above, we have 22 to the head, 19 to the neck, chest, stomach, and 17 to the extremities. Again, bro, nothing too impressive there in terms of damages, but man, this gun at range, it actually still has it. Like, although it has a fast fire rate, typically a gun with fast fire rate, it's kind of hard to control at range. but for whatever reason, this gun doesn't fit your typical like fire rate or high fire rate gun. I don't know, man. It's quite literally built different. In conclusion, I guess I say this with a straight face. I think the Mac-10 is actually better than the MP40. Like, that might just be like recency bias, but I really feel like it's better than the MP40. And along with the OTS, like I said in my last video, I'm pretty sure I said the same thing in the last video. Just these two guns, bro. Like, I don't know, man. They to me are better than the MP40, and it has to do a lot to do with the fire rate. I think the MP40, it's like fast for Vanguard, but not fast enough for the previous guns, and that's what from now I'm seeing what truly matters. But anyways, man, let me know what you guys think about both these weapons. Which one do you think is better and why? And yeah, man, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.